Food for the future. In 1845, a deadly disease took the farms of Ireland, killing all the lumber potato plants. The death of a single crop species might not seem so important, but in Ireland in 1845, people depended almost solely on the potato for food. The death of one species caused a terrible famine. Now, some scientists are worried that such a famine could happen again, but on a much wider scale. Over the centuries, farmers have discovered thousands of different species of food crops. Each species has special qualities. Some can be grown in very hot or cold climates. Others are not affected by certain diseases. However, you won't find many of these species in the local supermarket. To feed the 7 billion people on Earth, most farmers today are growing only species of plants that are easy to produce in large numbers. Meanwhile, thousands of other species are becoming extinct. For example, in the Philippines, there were once thousands of varieties of rice. Now fewer than 100 are grown there. In China, 90% of the wheat variety grown just a century ago have disappeared. Experts believe that over the past century, we have allowed more than half of the world's food varieties to disappear. Saving the seeds. One solution to these problems is to collect and reserve the seeds of as many different plant varieties as we can before they disappear. This idea was first suggested by Russian scientist Nikolai Vavilov. In the 1920s and 1930s, he collected around 400,000 seeds from 5 continents. More recently, others have continued the work he began. There are now around 1,700 seed banks in countries around the world. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault, which reserves almost 1 million seed samples, has one of the largest collections. In the U.S. state of Iowa, Diane O'Willy and her husband founded Heritage Farm, a place where people can store and trade seeds. Initially, O'Willy wanted to reserve historic plant varieties, like the seeds her great-grandfather brought to the United States more than 100 years ago from Germany. But the people at Heritage Farm don't just store the seeds, they plant them. By doing this, they are reintroducing food into the marketplace that haven't been grown for years. These food species are not just special in terms of appearance or flavor, they also offer farmers food solutions for the future from the past.